Hi, and welcome to Bladen Online. I have a special guest with me today, Mr. Fletcher Big Show Collins. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine, and yourself?
I'm great. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, ma'am.
Fletcher, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me what makes Fletcher Fletcher.
Well, several things. First, I come from a wonderful family. My late mother, Gloria Jean Collins, my father, John Edward Collins Sr. Uh, Big family, come from a family of seven. I happen to be the baby. With my sister Cynthia, John Jr., Vernell, Ollie, Brian, Tamika, and then me, number one, the baby, who got a little spoiledness, but not too much. I grew up, I guess like every other kid, and I always was a kid curious.
Right.
At the time, I used to do little things, get in trouble a lot, and I grew up elementary school time, and you know, my mind always been one different. Prime example, my sister used to laugh at me. I used to like to try to dress, and I had things kind of backwards. And when it's summer, I would put on corduroys and long sleeve. In the winter, I put on shorts and short sleeve. So I think I finally got my chemistry right. And as I grew up, I began to do different things. Like back in the late '70s, early '80s, I was the first one in my neighborhood that I knew. I made breakaway basketball goals. I took vials out of an engine head that my dad, because he was a mechanic, and I put them on a goal and made a breakaway. Then 1982, I remember I come down the hall, I lit up the hall, I took a pair of sneakers, put lights in the sneakers just before LA Gear ever came out. I had the wristband with the lights, I had the hat with the lights. So, you know, I found my mind kind of challenging to do different things. And I had things that I didn't know as a kid about patenting and all that. So a lot of things I created didn't know. And, you know, through those things like that, up to now, you know, I have a paint and body shop I call Big Show Auto Finish. And that name, unique name, came from not the wrestler, because I take him down, but my brother-in-law, John Mosby. He gave me that name in 1997. He said based on my character, how I do things, he felt like the name that I needed was Big Show because it covers everything about who I am. And now I guess you would say through the different things in life I've done, it helped me to define who I am, Fletcher. And what I love most is I like creating things. I like being different. I don't like being like the next person. I don't try to be like the next person. I like being me.
Right.
And through that passion, my dad and his friend Carl Carter, I learned painting from them by watching. And so they started me out water sanding cars, and I looked at them to learn to do the body work. So from there, you know, I started. I broke a motorcycle down. I did it. The first piece of equipment I painted was a $3.5 million crane. A guy, Carolina Crane, they had more confidence in me than I had in myself. But that's where I got my start. And from that, you know, I like things wild, so I started trying to create stuff. And I did this Harley Davidson. A guy said he wanted a diamond in the back for when he hit the brake it light up. So I took a grinder, freehand, cut it out, made the diamond in the back, put the plexiglass, painted it, did it so when he hit the brake, the whole back was like a diamond. And that was my first. And from that, then the guy gave me a motorcycle, said, well, just play with it, create something. And that's when I created my first snakeskin paint job.
Wow.
And from that point, people started asking me, well, can you do this, can you do that? Ever before I did, I would say yes, even though I never did it. But I just knew in my mind I could, and I went to creating stuff, you know, from that point. And it brought me up to the day. I remember having a conversation with my father before he passed a couple years ago. And I said, Dad, you know what? I want to stop painting caskets. And he said, Fletcher, he said, you know what? You always have these wild imaginations. He said, but if that's what you want to do, do it. I know they will look amazing. And he said, I can't even wrap my mind around how you do things. He said, but I know it's going to look nice. But needless to say, that my father was the first one that I done. It makes me sad, but it makes me happy because what he taught me, I was able to give back on his final, as he began to be delivered to the ground for his final time on earth. I was able to give something back that he gave me. From that, you know, my cousin T-Ray, may you rest in peace, my brother Malik, and now I'm here with my nephew Tyreek. We just lost him. I done his casket, but the unique thing about this casket, I miss him, I got tears in my eyes, but anyway, nevertheless, I did this tribute. I wanted to honor him like never before. His passion was basketball. He wanted to make it great. And I remember my mother, Pastor Collins, told us this when he was in, just right out the Pampers, that he was going to make it. And you say like, yeah, you sure you know what you're talking about? And here it came to pass. And but I wanted to do something to represent my family with this casket on this homegoing. So the bottom half, as you see it, as the pictures come out, we did the wood grain to make it look like a basketball court. We honored him with the schools that he attended, with his players and all like that. And in that, I wanted to show people the mindset, the heart of Fletcher Collins,
Right.
aka Big Show. And this is the talent that God blessed me with. And the sky's the limit, and I offer it to whosoever. So if you come to me, honoring a loved one or something that you have a passion you like, if you give me an idea, I will create it and bring it to reality. And that's who I am. I enjoy doing what I do. I do things in the community, always giving back, trying to help our children,
Right.
because believe it or not, they are our future.
Yes.
And 1994, I like to say, is when the Lord came into my life. And I haven't made all the right choices even after being a Christian, but I learned that God is a merciful God. He has forgiven me countless times. And now I have a passion, I have a desire to spend the rest of my life doing things that's pleasing in the eyesight of God and helping humanity, and especially our children, because I realize now our future depends on them. And as a Christian individual, as a leader in my community and communities abroad, that I'm willing to give my life, well as Jesus gave his for me, to help our children make a better tomorrow. So that's who Fletcher Collins is, aka Big Show, and that's my passion.
Well, tell us a little bit, Fletcher. How did you become interested in doing this type of artwork? What spurred your interest?
Well, I gotta say, I had a dream one night, and I seen this particular motorcycle in my dream, and in the dream it looked so unique, and I said, I believe I could do it. And I think it was one of my toughest tasks before all of this. And I have a show motorcycle, it's called Sergeant Major. And me and some friends of mine over the E-Platinum Performance, we got together, I shared my dream with them. They laughed at me at first. And I said, I'm going forward with it. And we got to working on it. And we created this paint job, which that bike is featured on YouTube. And it represents all the armed forces that fight so hard to make America what it is today. And I did that bike. And when I did that bike, I got so many reviews. I won so many events with this motorcycle. I took it to Houston, Texas. The show had over 5,000 people. And there's one of the biggest that ever been involved. It took first place, best of show in the money that they had, up for grab over $500. And that right there struck my interest to do bigger and better things and to show the whole entire world, this is who I am. I come from a small city. I love Elizabethtown, Bladen County. And I wanted to show them, even though I may not be financially supportive as many, but the passion that God gave me, you can't be God's gift. So some things you can't put on the price of money. So, and that right there got to be the thing that struck my interest to want to start doing things and to show people the different sides of me and the things that I'm able to do. So if you got an idea, trust me, I know I can bring it to pass.
Well, Big Show, how do people find you if they want to bring you an idea?
You can reach me at 910-391-6009, or you can reach me at 2900 West Broad Street of Elizabethtown, North Carolina. Up there, name of my place is Big Show Auto Finishes. And like I said, we stand with open arms. We sit back in the corner where we spread nothing but amazing paint.
Big Show, thank you for joining us today and sharing your passion with us.
Thank you, and it was a pleasure to be here. Keep me in your prayers as we move forward.
We'll do it.